20 to 5 on Wednesday afternoon. I've got Justin Timberlake to play for you in a second. Also, what else? Magnetic Eyes as well. That'll be on. And after 5 o'clock, it will be Connor Maynard as my special Wednesday guest for you. Live. Maniacs. They're going crazy. After 5 today. Before that, Secret Teacher has been very busy this week. We learnt a lot about Secret Teacher last week, and if you've never heard this show before, if you've never heard Secret Teacher before, let me give you a brief history of her. Her or him, or him. Could be a him, it's her. We first met Secret Teacher last year, and it was her first ever week as a teacher. This was the whole point of it, because everyone knows what it's like to start school as an 11-year-old or when you're 4. Everyone knows it's frightening, everyone's been through that, but not everyone has been a newly qualified teacher. And I always thought when I was at school, how awful it must have been for those people who were in their first week in their first school, they're 21, straight out of training, and they're not that much older, and in many cases shorter and smaller than the sixth formers, so it must be awful. We've had quite a few ups and downs, it's fair to say, with Secret Teacher, but she's very honest with her stuff.
Newsflash. Mrs. Geography and I are keen smokers, but it's absolutely key that the kids don't see us puffing away in the car as we pop off for a post-school gin.
So she thinks she's kind of I suppose she is the naughty teacher. She's the naughty teacher at the back of the class. But that naughty kid at the back of your class could become a teacher. And then I think that's what's happened to Secret Teacher. So last week we learnt that her school finishes at 2:50 on a Friday. 2:50? There's no point. What's the point of going in? 2:50. That's like, get in, get your books out. Oh, let's go home. Friday, weekend. But she was saying how she's the Usain Bolt of the staff room because she manages to get to the pub before anybody else. 2:57 p.m. was her record, and she's not an alcoholic. She just likes the game. So that was last week on Secret Teacher, and coming next after JT, we'll find out what the next instalment has to offer.
I can't wait till
JT and Jay-Z, Suit and Tie. It's Radio 1. Hello, Carla and Eve in the car on the way home. They say, please, can me and my friend Evie have a shout out because we've just done work experience all day at my dad's boring work. What does your dad do? I don't know, something boring. Something boring. Emily is very much looking forward to hearing the next instalment of Secret Teacher, as is Chris in Linlithgow. What an amazing place name. And Natalie, who says, I love Secret Teacher. I've got it all to come. #trainee. No, this is not how you should be. Don't take this as an example of how to be. This is just one person's experience. But I must just add that it's a real experience. These are the tales of a real teacher whose identity will remain anonymous, or as anonymous as possible, but after all this stuff, you could probably work out who it is. Join the dots, eh? It's a jigsaw puzzle. So, instalment number 10 of Secret Teacher.
We discussed last week the teachers view Fridays with as much glee and relief as the students do. So it will come as no surprise to you that a potential snow day is also seen as an absolute godsend. Literally.
Ah, you see, this is what we're learning over the weeks, that teachers are the same as everybody else who goes to school. They're just big kids with registers and the ability to give out detentions and a parking space in the playground. Apart from that, exactly the same.
I went to sleep on Sunday night with everything crossed. 7 a.m. was the time when the school would be declared open or shut. I was quietly confident.
And that's it. Just know that feeling. Everyone had it at the start of this week on Sunday, and even last week there was massive downpours. And even if you're not religious, you are praying, brother. You are hoping. Act of God, because it's the greatest thing. If you can't go to school and it's not your fault, oh well, I missed the maths test then. Big deal.
In times of snow, the done thing is to check the school website. So at 6:55, I began refreshing the page. F5, 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 F5. The website crashed. Obviously, all my colleagues and the students were F5ing their little hearts out too.
You've got to be careful. RSI, repetitive strain injury, is a big problem in the workplace. But can we just stop things a second? School website. Now, I haven't been at school for a few years. I'm now 27 years old. But my school website didn't have anything on it. A couple of pictures of an assembly, the prospectus, maybe an email address, and the term dates. Maybe that was it. But now, the idea of... What's happened to technology? This is incredible news. What the hell? Have schools got Twitter accounts and Facebook fan pages? Does the headmaster put wacky pictures of himself up with his thumbs up? Whee! School's open, or no, school's closed. Is that what it's like now? Modern technology. This is amazing. So maybe you don't have letters home anymore. If you've been naughty in class, your form tutor doesn't send a letter home, they just email, which means that you can't accidentally lose the letter. So is it all email? What a world we live in. Anyway.
So I waddled to school on the ice, gutted that I had to teach a load of grumpy, snow-loving kids in a sweaty, wet, windowed classroom all day. I switched on my radio to check the latest. To my absolute delight, the travel man announced my school as closed. Shut. Ferme. Seriado. Or whatever it is in Spanish. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
And you can imagine it. You can imagine the glee dancing down the road. Like Torval and Dean on the ice. But she was already on the way to school.
I spent the day at the closed school with all my teacher buddies. The kids weren't around. We had a great day. Had a teachers versus teaching assistants snowball fight. We won. Made a rude snowman sculpture of the headmaster, which I added snow breasts to, and hit Miss Perfect with a snowball right in the face, with a very accurate shot from the other side of the car park. Plus, I actually got a load of work done.
Well, that's one thing at least. We don't like Miss Perfect. We don't like her at all. Seems like a good day then. Oh, and by the way, snowmen tend to stick around for a couple of days, so basically that sculpture of the headmaster with the boobs will still be there, and presumably the day after when the kids did come back, there'll be a weird snowman woman melted breast kind of situation. I don't know.
Lessons for the class this week. Pressing F5 repeatedly on a crashed website is unlikely to help. And snow breasts are very difficult to sculpt, but worth the effort.
Good point. BBC Radio. Matrix and Future Bound. This is Magnetic Eyes on Radio 1, 5 to 5. Hi, Abby.
Hi.
Okay, this blows my mind about schools. So Secret Teacher told me about the school website. So what? So your school's got a Twitter and a Facebook?
Yeah.
Do you follow it?
No, but when it's snowing, everyone was like retweeting everything.
Retweeting the school?
Yeah, because everyone was excited because they didn't have to get up in the morning.
But normally everyone just retweets Harry Styles and stuff.
Well, yeah, that too.
I imagine that it's not very cool to follow your school on Twitter.
No, not really.
And do you get texts from your school as well? Because loads of people are going, oh yeah, that school texts my parents all the time.
They don't text my parents. My parents don't really know how that works.
What, phones as a whole?
No.
Okay, this is blowing my mind. Well, thank you, Abby. Have a good evening.